Sophie Cunningham goes in the post-game press conference and confirms what we've all known all along. This locker room is split, and she uses the term different islands going on in this locker room. It turns out that Christy Sides and all of those toilet paper mummy activities, all those scavenger hunt activities, the wiffle ball coming back from the Olympic break, it turned out that those stupid games actually played a big part, along with Erica Wheeler's veteran leadership, keeping this locker room, keeping this team together.
Did Sophie Cunningham just blow the lid off the Indiana Fever's locker room drama? According to her, things behind the scenes are anything but united. Word is, the locker room is divided, tensions are rising, and the front office seems to be dodging responsibility like it's a game of hide and seek. So who's not getting along? Who's smiling on the court but side-eyeing off it? And why does this feel less like basketball and more like a reality show with a halftime cliffhanger? Cunningham didn't hold back, she lit the spark, and now the whole situation is up in smoke. Buckle up, because this story has more layers than a plot twist in overtime. Let's unpack it all before the tweets disappear and the PR team starts spinning.
What is going on with the Indiana Fever? Is tensions mounting? Did Sophie Cunningham just expose the truth that's going on with the Indiana Fever? Is there some turmoil brewing? Is there issues in the locker room?
And we talk about this. We are circled on everybody's schedule. Everyone, no one likes us, right? So everyone in our locker room, that's the only type of people that we have that we can lean on. And we got to be better in that area. We have got to stay disciplined. We have to stay focused. We need to get consistent, and we got to lean on each other. And I think that we've kind of wavered a little bit on that. We have our own islands, but as one of the leaders on the team, I got to do a better job of grouping people, right?
So here we are. Caitlin Clark, basically the living, breathing poster child for everything the WNBA says it wants. Star power, marketability, class. But somehow, the league still can't seem to shield her from the chaos. And yet she keeps showing up, keeps dropping buckets, keeps handling it all with grace. What she's enduring looks less like rookie treatment and more like a league-approved initiation. Still, she pushes through with the grit of a grinder, the humility of a saint, and the kind of polished poise that feels like it came straight from a PR angel.
Sophie Cunningham, in the post-game interview, speaks on this team and the islands within the locker room. Everybody's on their own little island. We're going to get back to that real quick. Listen to what Stephanie White said in the offseason. One of her thousands of interviews that I called out. Stop doing interviews. I want some wins. One of her 1,000 million interviews during her press run in the offseason.
And somehow, she's being painted as the problem. But let's be real, the numbers don't lie. The attention she's getting isn't some random internet craze. Fans are drawn to Caitlin Clark because she's a once-in-a-generation talent. She's not flashy, she's focused. Her vibe doesn't shout for drama, it quietly says, "I'm here to elevate the game," all while flashing a smile and signing autographs like it's just another day.
Really interesting comments from Sophie Cunningham. And yes, you kind of have to read between the lines a little bit, but I also think it is a pretty clear admission, just without detail, of what has been going on with the Indiana Fever this season. And it is not good at all. It makes it really, really difficult for teams to put together winning performances when you have all of this going on. And no, I'm not even talking about the distraction of Caitlin Clark and her injury and other things, although that plays a part as well. But she also does make a comment that I think is important in terms of who the Indiana Fever are as a team and how that makes things more difficult as well. So I want to take a listen.
People gravitate toward her because she gives off something rare, genuine charm and down-to-earth warmth. It's the kind of kindness that feels like it was passed down with Midwest values and served up with a side of homemade casserole. Caitlin Clark isn't just talented, she's good in the old school, moral sense. And in today's sports world, that kind of goodness might as well be a unicorn.
I'm not sure Sophie meant for it to come out like that, but it's something I have suspected for a while, maybe about 4 weeks now. It's something that Jason Whitlock jumped face first, head first into the deep end the other day on, that the locker room with the Fever, and just to keep it real, I agree with him on this. I think there are some preferences in the locker room where these young ladies differ in how they handle or how their preferences in their personal lives, and the locker room is divided.
Let's talk about what's really happening behind the scenes, or more accurately, in the locker room. Peace, about as rare as a flagrant foul being called for Caitlin Clark, while the Fever front office shuffles pieces like they're redecorating a sinking ship. Their franchise player is getting elbowed, hacked, and quietly iced out by her own teammates. Forget building chemistry, this isn't team bonding, it's team fracturing. It's less come together and more reality show rivalry, like an episode of Flip This Roster Meets Survivor WNBA edition. One half of the squad looks allergic to passing her the ball, and the other half seems more interested in protecting their minutes than winning games. Let's not dress this up. What's happening isn't player development, it's dysfunction. It's like giving Einstein a crayon and locking him in a preschool. Caitlin's elite vision is being wasted on teammates who'd rather hoist wild shots than acknowledge she's wide open. The strategy? Apparently, it's ignore the generational talent, force bad shots, and let Clark handle the media cleanup like she's the PR department too.
I've been watching that Sophie Cunningham thing on repeat, man. That clip where she grabbed the girl and threw her down, so foul. It's a hard basketball foul, probably over the top. Of course it is, but why would it not be given the circumstances? But once she did the clinch, man, MMA fans, UFC, grappling, Muay Thai, like we all know, once you seen that clinch, it was like, okay, she just ain't no regular fucking person. She knows something. She got some skills, and I guess she has like a black belt in Taekwondo or some shit like that, which is wild. And apparently she was the kicker on a high school football team.
She doesn't need to flip chairs or fire off cryptic tweets. What Caitlin Clark needs is a Magic Johnson moment, not the charming smile and wave version, but the bold ultimatum, it's me or the coach. Because let's be honest, that's where things are now. Subtle hints, gone. Quiet professionalism, clearly not moving the needle. The league is cashing in on her image. The front office is banking the buzz. And somehow, she's expected to keep grinning while teammates treat her like she cut the buffet line. Every superstar hits a crossroads, carry a broken system, or break it to rebuild it. What's stunning is how much grace she's shown. Most players in her position would have already fired shots, maybe a cryptic Instagram story, a passive-aggressive podcast drop, or a not-so-subtle media quote. But Caitlin, she just keeps showing up, head down, taking body shots like a boxer who accidentally signed up for a basketball league. And somehow, she still handles the chaos with calm, gives thoughtful interviews, and never lets the frustration spill over. She doesn't just deserve a trophy, she deserves a medal for endurance.
What's interesting is everybody hates them for multiple reasons, but the one I want to talk about when she said about circled on the schedule that I think is important, because it's easy to look from the outside and be like, well, that shouldn't matter. And it shouldn't matter, but it does. And what I mean is, we're all human, and not everybody's athletes don't. They should. They get paid to. It's a job. It's a blessing.
Now, let's talk about the fans, the ones dropping serious cash on overpriced tickets, rocking her jersey, dragging their skeptical boyfriends to games, and turning the Clark effect into a full-on economic boom. They're not just watching for the hoops. They're watching because Caitlin Clark stands for something rare: excellence wrapped in humility, star power without the ego, greatness with grace. She's giving people a reason to believe in sports again. Not for the drama, not for the gimmicks, but for the game. And yet, somehow, she's stuck in a system that's profiting off her image while refusing to protect her. And please spare us the rookie excuse. At some point, you stop pretending she's just another newcomer and start recognizing she's your league's golden goose. And right now, that goose is being slow roasted under the spotlight. What she needs isn't another "you got this, girl" from the sidelines. She needs real, structural support, a coaching staff that builds around her strengths, not one that sidelines them. Teammates who want to win, not withhold. A front office that understands its job goes beyond salary caps. It's about cultivating team chemistry and protecting the franchise cornerstone.
About taking accountability. Now, I can't say that last play with the 5-point swing, I think more so of she shouldn't have been in front of Stevens, man. She is too big. She is too big. Yeah, I get it, box out, but it was better to have Boston in her spot. Now, I did hear Stephanie White take accountability on that one. She was like, yeah, it's probably on me. I should have switched them too. Made sure we had the big right there, but you know, it just slipped her. But yeah, I think in that instance, it should have been Boston right there. It's big on her to take the accountability, but yeah, Boston should have been there. She could take fault in it too, because it's also like you have to recognize what's going on, right?
Because right now, the chemistry experiment is blowing up and Caitlin Clark is the only one left holding the mop. While fans are sending prayers and good vibes, let's also send a strongly worded memo to the league office. Stop pretending. This isn't happening. She's not asking for special treatment. She's asking for basic fairness. There's a difference between being treated like a star and being treated like a human being who shouldn't need a full body ice bath just for surviving another night as the league's unofficial punching bag. And the blueprint? It's already out there. Magic stood up and reshaped the Lakers. LeBron changed the entire landscape in Cleveland. This isn't just about basketball anymore, it's about principle. The WNBA has a rare opportunity right now. A chance to evolve, to grow, to finally break into the mainstream. But that path runs directly through Caitlin Clark. And instead of building around her, the league is fumbling the bag, the script, and the entire plot. She's out here playing for D chess while the system around her is still bickering over checkers rules.
So after last night, another collapse by the Indiana Fever and giving up a fourth quarter lead to lose the game, Sophie Cunningham had pretty interesting words in the post game, after the post game interview, and what she said pretty much spot on for what everybody has been thinking, or some of us have been thinking, is that there is some kind of issue in the locker room. And she put it plain and simple as we could get it. And maybe this could lead to what DeWanna Bonner left. Now, there could be some issues, there could be some players, and we already know that there's a gender out against the Indian.
If the Fever won't step up, then Caitlin Clark needs to force the conversation. Make it uncomfortable. Because silence isn't peace, it's just permission for the dysfunction to keep growing. This is the moment to speak up. Not for drama, but for her future. And for every little girl watching her and thinking, that's who I want to be. Right now, that dream looks bruised. And still she hasn't snapped, hasn't thrown shade, hasn't checked out. She keeps showing up when most of us would have pulled a phantom hamstring and booked a one-way ticket to Cabo. She's been the adult in the room for far too long. But now, it's time to flip the script, because the system isn't just broken, it's rigged. She doesn't need to adapt. The system needs to evolve around her. So here's the plate: demand better. Out loud, in public, in a way that can't be spun, softened, or ignored. She's the walking marketing campaign with a halo, and it's time to trade that halo in for a megaphone. The grace period, over. The kindness tab, closed. And no more nodding through cheap shots and cold shoulders. No more pretending that whatever's going on with Natasha Howard and Brianna Turner isn't exactly what it looks like. Pure, unfiltered hater energy. It's time for Caitlin to stand not just gracefully, but unapologetically.
But I just think that it's impossible to think that's not a real possibility here. You know, and it should be noted, Stephanie White. All right, Stephanie White checks some boxes. And then you've got Sophie, and you got Caitlin, and you got Aaliyah, and you got Lexi. To my knowledge, probably Demarius Dantis, but I don't know. Michaela Timpson, I don't know. That don't check some boxes.
Let's just call it what it is. This isn't regular competitiveness, it's the basketball version of rage quitting the group chat and throwing your own birthday party out of spite. Natasha Howard. She's never even pretended to vibe with Caitlin Clark. It's like the moment she saw the spotlight shifting, she made a silent vow, not on my watch. And hey, jealousy is free, anyone can feel it. But turning that into open hostility towards someone who's done nothing but elevate the entire league, that's not competitiveness. That's a choice. A loud, bitter, exhausting choice. And Brianna Turner? No mystery there either. She and Howard basically co-founded the Let's Dislike Caitlin and blame her fans for it club. Every Clark highlight, Every packed arena, every media mention seems to set them off like someone just bumped the thermostat a few degrees too high. They won't say it out loud, but this isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about egos, insecurity, and the discomfort that comes with someone raising the bar while refusing to shrink to make others feel taller. It the center of it all. Ego. Caitlin Clark doesn't try to stir the pot, she just exists. But her talent, her spotlight, and her massive fan base make some veteran players feel like their legacies are being overshadowed by a rookie with a smoother jumper and a louder following. And let's be honest about Dana Bonner's performance.